Hi, this is Shamrondi from Like Design Topics, and I wanted to talk about this really quickly because it's something that comes in my thoughts. Sorry about looking so disheveled. Long night, long morning, and it's hot. This is a video for my West Indian women. So my fellow West Indian women in the diaspora, in England, here in North America, the ones who have traveled back, the ones who are in Canada, anywhere in the world, okay? And I want to say first, God bless you, okay? And know that this message comes from a place of love, all right? I had a conversation with a sister friend, and she was talking about something that I've heard many people say. And it was like, yeah, our parents, they wanted to give us a better life. They did. They brought us here outside. We went outside. How's the Guyanese people would say, oh, we went to North America. We go America. Or we go England, wherever. And, in our heart of hearts, it's like, we just really wanted simplicity. We could have had a great life right where we were, right? We want the fresh air. We want the community, the camaraderie, the fresh fruits, the amazing cuisine, always. Everything tastes good back home, right? And I hope you guys can hear me well. They're cutting grass, right? And it's those simple things that we like, and it's those simple things and the love for where we come from that encourages us to go back, right? Every opportunity that we get. Some of us go back annually. We get a little tax money. That's where we're going. We're going back home and we're hanging out, or we want to spend Christmas, right? Nothing is more sweet than Christmas back home in the Caribbean, right? Or we go for Easter, right? We want to go and fly the kites and eat the cross bun and cheese and socialize and profile and all the things that people do when they go back home on these holidays. I want you to know that with the resources, with the knowledge, with the understanding that our forefathers had and our foremothers, our strong foremothers, who is more strong than them? Who is more strong than the ancestors that went before us, right? They're the ones that paved the way for us back home. They're the ones that were planting acres of rice on their own and cutting sugarcane and still looking after their children and still being a great support to their husband, right? They did so much. And then in turn, many of them and many of us had to leave our children behind to go outside, to forge forward, to seek a better life, okay? And, the thoughts of our parents, leaving us behind, or our grandparents doing it, or whatever the case may be, it's like you have to understand that they did what they thought was absolutely correct, okay? So there really isn't a wrong way to look at it beside a place of ungratefulness. You don't want to be in a place of ungratefulness, right? You want to definitely see what those lessons are that you need to learn. Decide if you're going to do things differently with your own life, or encourage your children differently. If that means, you go back home and you make a way so that your offspring and your future generation knows that there is always a home for them. Right? You do whatever you can do that is in your power, right? There's no wrong way. And if you feel quite contented to be outside and to be America and be in England and everywhere else outside, that's fine too, right? You're a global citizen. You belong here. You're a human. You belong here on this earth. There is no place that you should not be able to call home, right? But just do know that if back home is where you want to consider home, that's all right. Don't overly romanticize it. Stay on top of the information that's back there. Every opportunity you get, make sure that you're less and less of a tourist when you go. Get yourself whatever local and legal documentations you need so you will be able to do things. If you plan on transitioning and spending more time there as you get older, you can be a fully functioning citizen. You'll be able to vote and all those other kind of things, right? And do not dissuade other people from going. Comparison is, it just kills hope. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't compare your story to anyone else's story. Don't compare somebody else's trappings to yours. You don't know what they did to get it, right? But what is most important is that your children are close to you, that you make sure that, you're working on having a good relationship with your children, that they understand the sacrifice that, was made for them, right? That you sleep good at nighttime, that your heart is clean, huh? One thing that never ever failed me as a young woman being in New York City, I remember I actually tried to move to New York about 5 years earlier, not about 5 years earlier when I actually did. And I had limiting individuals in my company, and they told me I shouldn't do that. And I remember when I finally did make the move and I went to New York from Massachusetts, the individual thought that I was asking them permission again. I was like, I'm not asking, I'm telling you, right? Because my life has not changed in the 5 years that I've been in Boston, right? That's probably why I never go back. I only go there and stay in contact there because my best friend lives there. My best friends live there. My grandmother, she's my best friend. My son's godmother. It's only that. If they were not there, there's nothing that would be there for me, right? Because it represented like limitation. You understand? And I've made peace with that. I'm not angry at Boston or anything like that. But one thing I am definitely clear about is what it does not go forward with me as I pursue life, right? Everything is not for everybody all the time, right? People come into our life for seasons and for us to learn particular lessons, and so does places that we live. Do not ever feel limited. If you feel you want to start somewhere new, you do that. Our forefathers did that, right? They wanted to start new abroad, outside, foreign. They wanted to go to foreign and start something new. And they did it with their children in mind. They did it with their own futures in mind. They did it with, just the challenges of what present day life was, not realizing, the grass is green over there, but not as green as that good grass back home that's catching all those trade winds and getting flooded out every time we have rainy season. Many of us come from an Indo or an African background, right? In the Caribbean. Many of us are Douglas. We're a mixture of those two groups of strong individuals that were brought under incorrect promises. Okay, the ones that were indentured, and then the ones that were stolen, they were brought over for their strength, right? So we never, ever, 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 ever do we ever forget the sacrifice and the strength that our ancestors exhibited and what they displayed and the fortitude that they had. They paved the way. They built the infrastructure for these now Caribbean countries, right? Anytime I go back home and I meet a woman and I feel like, gosh, your self-esteem is not where it needs to be, I always give her a positive word, right? She needs to see herself a certain way, right? Colonialism is what created the Great Divide. That's that racism between, different groups of people. But let me tell you, colonialism literally created another barrier that many of us have been able to supersede and move past and live our lives with it. But that same barrier had a different form. And our sisters and brothers here in North America, they've only been, they're not even fully liberated. They've only been out of Jim Crow about 35, 40, 50 years max, right? But many of us are multi-generational, free, self-liberated Africans. I want you to never, ever forget that everywhere you go, every job interview you go to, know that your ancestors are with you everywhere that you go. Know that your great-grandmother and your grandmother's prayers are with you. Know that their prayers are with you. Know that their strength is with you. And know that there's no right way and there's no wrong way, right? It's just learn the lessons. Make sure that those that love you feel loved. And just live your life. Get what you can get. Stay if you want to stay. Go if you want to go. All right? They did what they had to do or what they felt was correct to do. You don't know what kind of sensationalism or media was being fed to them at that time. So be blessed. Have an amazing day. Excuse my appearance, my dishevelness, but I wanted to make sure that I get this video out. I didn't even write any bullets or anything for it, but I wanted it to come from a good place, as you know, a woman that understands. I understand where we all come from. I get it. I'll probably do a video about like not dating like a village girl, but you know, that's besides the point. All right. So be blessed. This is Shamrondi from Life Design Topics. Know that I love you. Tell yourself every day that you love yourself. Say, I love you. Tell yourself how great you are. Tell yourself that you're enough. Okay? If you're in a bad situation and you shouldn't be in it, give yourself permission to come out of that situation. Okay? Remove yourself. Because in the end, all you have is yourself. Right? And we have to look after our children. We got to be good mothers. We got to be good fathers and all of that. All right. Stay blessed, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and subscribe. If you see this on YouTube, subscribe, right? If you see this on Facebook, see if you could join my group if you haven't joined the group yet, right? It's called Life Design Topics, all right? If you're on Instagram, you follow me at Providence Life Design. What else I can tell you? Everything else is in the links in my bios. Take care. Bye-bye.